everyone, and welcome to Nerds with Dice. Tonight is our premiere for Warehouse 15. But first, I want to tell you, prepare because our week will now be starting Sundays at 2 p.m. EST with the premiere of the Gehenna Principle on Sunday. Little VTM game there. And then Mondays will be a Wander Home game called The Long Road Home. That'll be at 2 p.m. EST on Monday as well. Then Tuesdays, we will be on our regular scheduled Rifts game at 8 p.m. EST. Wednesdays is Kingdom Hearts Dreams of Nobody at 1 p.m. EST. And then, of course, Fridays, we will end the week with Warehouse 15. And, other announcements. If you are interested in being a part of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Charity stream tournament thing on June 19th, signups for Duelists are still open. You can find them on Twitter for either the Bardic Knock or Nerds with Dice. There are also sign-up sheets in the Discord. If you're having trouble finding them, just reach out to me or the Bardic Knock, and we will help you get those figured out. There are prizes for 1st through 5th place, all kinds of stuff. If you're inexperienced or have never played Yu-Gi-Oh, don't worry. We've tried to do our best to make it so anybody can join up. There are decks that are already made that I made. They're competitive but should be easy to use, and there's plenty of people in our little organization server that would be more than happy to help you understand what's going on there. So the only other order of business before we get started is we have merch, and you can find that via the link in the chat, and you can also find that if you go to Nerds with Dice on Twitter. It is in the bio if you follow the link tree. And now, let's start with Jack. Introduce yourself, and who are you playing tonight?
Hello, everybody. I am Capjack, and I am so very happy to be here on our first session of Warehouse 15. I'm so hyped. Oh my god. I will tonight be playing the Exiled playbook as Nikola Ilyich, Warehouse 11 agent.
Alright, and we'll keep it moving to JT.
Hi, I am JT. My pronouns are he, him. I am playing the luchador, Enrique the Suplexorcist Reyes.
Alright, and we'll see if I can adjust that. Alright, and Isidore.
Hey, I'm Isidore. I'm playing Damien Crow as the Monstrous, a amnesiac and accidental assistant of the warehouse.
And Chaos.
Hi, I'm Ken Chaos Art. I'm playing Dr. Elizabeth. Dr. Elizabeth Bruin goes by Liz, and I'm playing her as the Mundane.
And
I'm pretty sure that's
Val.
me then.
Yep.
Hi everybody. I'm Nick. I'm They, and I'm playing the crooked Skylar Hendricks, who goes by Sky, and is they them.
Okay. So, where we're starting is, I guess we're starting back in Utah. We get the little title card that says like Utah. It also says, so it says present day Utah warehouse location, and we see, we get a little shot of the warehouse, and then we go inside, and there is, she's sort of in charge Her name is Catherine Harthridge. She is a little bit older. She was sort of the first agent for Warehouse 15. Possibly has a connection to Warehouse 13, but has been kind of cagey about that. And she is going over a ping that you recently got, and so she says, so as you know, some artifacts that were with Warehouse 14 are missing. We believe we have found one in Alfred Dreyfus's sword hilt, and we are going to be heading into Chicago to stake out the person we believe to have it. So it's going to be really important if he does have it. You cannot lie in the vicinity of the sword hilt, or you will start to drown.
So, like, it suffocates you for lying?
Yes, your lungs begin to fill with salt water.
With salt.
With salt water.
Salt water.
I mean, hey, that conveniently works out. Suplexomania is set to debut in Chicago, so, like, yeah, I might have to dip out here and there to go do my job, but otherwise you have the Suplexorcist ready to toss some problems around.
And then she holds up like a little foil bag and sets it on the table. Now this is a silver necklace from the Atacama Desert Mines, and I want this is emergency use only. It will temporarily negate the effects of the sword hilt until you can neutralize it. Again, emergency use only, but if you have a victim and can't get the sword hilt, or one of you becomes affected, this is going to be your best bet to negate it. Remember, you're not using cover stories or anything this time, because if he has the sword hilt and he touches it and you lie, you'll begin to drown. So, any
Go
other
in,
questions?
get the sword, get out.
Yes.
You know who presently has the hilt?
What's the area of effect?
In the immediate area, I believe. If you're in the same room, you'll be affected.
Okay, but I mean like in meters of surface area, because, or is it by
Unknown.
room?
It's
And-
unknown exactly how close.
Oh. She writes a note down.
So we're not sure how far this will affect us, so just assume you're under the effect.
I mean, that or risk drowning, I suppose.
I like not drowning, thank you very much.
You know, I actually have a move that might help right now. It's called Learned. You research all the legends and tales of monsters in your home time. When you investigate a mystery, you can ask the keeper questions from the following list as well as from the usual list. And there's one in particular that could be very helpful. So, is it all right if I give that a shot, Nerdy?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, and also figuring out, is this how it works? It's with sharp, right? Yes. Default. No forward. Oh, that's not good. So, yeah, that didn't go well.
Ooh.
Okay, let's see.
I need to figure out what a mark experience.
Oh,
Oh, there
yeah,
it is.
getting that experience early.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think let's see. It is a World War One artifact. You just don't know it that well. See. Oh, if you have a beginning of the mystery roll on your character sheet, some of you may have a move that triggers at the beginning of a mystery. Now is the time to roll that.
I mean, can I roll empath to feel like the emotions of her?
If you want, yeah, that's
So I have to roll plus weird.
okay. Let me look at it because I don't know.
I
don't know.
We're kicking some ass today.
I just wanted to look and make sure, see if there's any.
So on a failure, I get overwhelmed with emotion.
Okay. Yes. So you are overwhelmed with emotion.
I think like he tries to get a read on her, like trying to like figure out if they're like try to like understand her emotions to figure out if there's something she's not telling us, but is just overwhelmed by the feeling of I have sent like I'm guessing on the surface level there's that feeling of like I'm sending these guys on a death mission. Or not a death mission, but like what I forgot the term suicide mission for a second. My bad. But like I'm guessing that might like you can tell me if I'm wrong, but like I'm guessing that's like the surface area of it, and maybe everyone in the room feels that way. Or am I overthinking this?
No, I think you've got it. You kind of got you're getting just kind of overwhelmed. There's not a lot of like you're getting all the emotions of the people in here, and it would probably be worse if you were in a wrestling arena or something, you know,
Oof.
where there's a lot more people to overwhelm you, but it's still pretty overwhelming.
So I think he's just going to like I think at that point he's just gonna try to like go get his gear, just something to get out of the room. He's just gonna be like, I'll get my gear then.
And I think as you leave, I think that's a good moment to flash back to how long has Enrique been a member of the warehouse?
I'm trying to figure that question out because he's been in so much like a lot of the history with the other hunters is based on like weird shit happening between them both. So I feel like after like incident number 1, someone from the warehouse is like, I'd like to tell you about the warehouse initiative. I don't know if he'd maybe take it after the first one. Like, I feel like he would be like a tough nut to crack. But like, maybe after like incident number 2, he's like, okay, maybe there's something going on here. Also, did we establish like if he knows about like what happened to he doesn't have any like idea what happened to his biological parents, right? Or does he have like a vague notion?
Who was that discussion with?
I think that was a discussion we are yet to have. But I'm also just like, hey, you could just
because I
drop
think
that bomb at any moment.
I think ultimately that would be up to you whether or not he knows. I'm okay with holding it off as something that he finds out.
I think I want it to be something that he finds out, but like after the second weird thing, he kind of starts to think like
maybe he has
there's gotta be-
suspicions that he wants to try to confirm at some point.
yeah, like something's up and
Okay.
it's happening around him. So I'd say after like maybe he's like the third one of the crew to join, or like definitely not the first or second, but he's definitely like third or beyond.
So I think because because I'm gonna play off of him getting overwhelmed with emotions. We flash back. He's in the locker room by himself, possibly after, or even like maybe during the very end of a show or something, in which it's the first time that he's gotten overwhelmed by emotions. And so you're sitting there. I imagine this is probably after the first time you had a encounter with the warehouse, right? And so and then trying to remember. I had the description in my head of this person, but now I'm blanking on it. She is just a little bit over middle age. She is like Seamus white, right? Like porcelain skin almost, right? Could be mistaken for a ghost at night. She has very meticulously cut black hair. She's got like a pantsuit on kind of thing, and she walks in to the locker room and are you Enrique?
Okay. He looks at her. He's like, depends on if you're. Actually, I know like the perfect moment for this to happen.
Yeah,
Like,
come here.
No. Like no. Oh, out of character. I think I have like the best moment for him to be overwhelmed.
Okay.
Because I think my history with Damien is that Damien wandered into the ring, and like, you know, like his orders were like, "Hey, play it off like it's the match and fight Damien," and Damien's just like, "Where am I? Why is this dude with like a knight's helmet and like exorcist robes coming at me?" And like, he makes like. And I think the story with that is like he makes a controversial decision to like he realizes mid match it's like, no, this is not a wrestler. So he like tells Damien to just like walk out, get the count out, but like Hot Mike's picked it up, so it becomes like a viral conspiracy. People are like, oh my god, he like this was like collusion, blah blah. So like, and it was at a point where like he had breaking out of whatever Lucha's equivalent of like IJPW's Black Lions are, where it's like, all right, they finally let him make his own character. Yeah, he was like, his job was to lose and make like the more veteran wrestlers look good. But like after a bit of doing that, people are like, yo, this kid's amazing. He needs a push. So they were gonna go for the push of like, oh, we have an actual monster in the ring, which most people would do. It was like a dude in a meticulous costume, but. So after like that all happened, you know, he's getting booed off the stage. He's coming to terms with the fact that he just fought like a supernatural being again. Probably not the first time, but it's like weird that it's happening to him. Like all that's flooding him, and now this lady who looks like a ghost is coming at him. But also, she could just be like a corporate sponsor, as far as he knows. So he's just like, look, if you're a reporter, I don't want to talk about it. I have no comment.
No. My name is Janet Thorne. I am a regent with Warehouse 15, and you seem to have had an encounter with one of my agents today.
All right, if I'm on like Impractical Jokers or something, you know, the cameras can come out. Come on. This isn't funny. I really don't want to do this.
No, that's not it at all. Hold on. I've been trying to find a very specific artifact because I don't remember the exact details of it, and suddenly... Jack, do you remember they're like wrestling trunks that
Yep,
the
I'm on it.
superhero guy used? Thank you.
You want me to fire them off to you? Or do you want me to just tell you?
Yeah, just shoot him over. That's fine.
Okay.
Why? It is too hot for you. Here, since you went up, you can say hi to everybody.
Hello, kitty.
Oh.
Oh, hi, cat. Oh, hi, kitty.
Kitty.
One looks far more pleased about that than the other did.
Okay, so yeah, well, see, they got a little turned around. They were looking for your competitor, actually. Turns out he got a hold of something that we call an artifact. In this case, they were Angelo Ciliano's workout trunks. They make him stronger in a way by allowing him to manipulate density, but they have some pretty bad side effects that come along with them. But the regents, we happen to notice your state in the ring afterwards. You kind of got overwhelmed there. We wanted to talk to you about that.
So wait, you're telling me that you hired some... wait, sorry, break. But how young is Damien, or is Damien older?
Damien looks roughly to be mid-20s to mid-30s.
Gotcha. So you hired some random person with superpowers to steal the trunks of my competitor because they're apparently superpowered trunks.
Yes, that is more or less it. We hire lots of random people to be our agents. Things like those trunks, and there are lots of artifacts like that.
He's like still looking around for a camera. Can I like read a situation? Well, I don't know how skill checks work in flashbacks, but or like making a move in a flashback would work out. But I think he would definitely try to like. I think he would just like comb for cameras. He'd just be like, "All right, okay, whose promo idea is this?"
I think technically it would be. It doesn't really fall under the purview of anything unless you want to. I mean, do you think this is a bad situation?
Not particularly. She doesn't look armed. It's not like he's. I mean, he might be like winded from the fight, but unless she has like backup, he doubts this is going to break out into violence, or does he want it to? but also I think he has that feeling of like if she's serious, there's probably someone with like someone who could take him out like in the room, maybe not even in the room. So he's probably also trying to avoid windows. But I'm also debating just trying empath again, overwhelm myself in the flashback. Yo, dog, I heard you like being overwhelmed by emotions. But that also feels like trying to use empathy as like a lie detector, which might not be its point.
Works for Jinx.
Yeah, so I think if you want to attempt to do that with the empath is perfectly fine. Otherwise, I think in this case you look around and you see like a security camera that like points out into the hallway outside the locker rooms, and that's it.
I think he just winds up like falling to the floor. He's like, all right, so what happens? Do I get taken away? Have I seen too much? Is this where I get put away? Is this someone's idea of a joke to fire me because I botched the match?
No, we're actually hoping to hire you.
What?
Yes, we need more agents, and we would like to hire you. Hold on one sec. Why in... Okay, so hold on. I have no idea why Google Meet isn't picking me up.
Yeah, it sure isn't.
Oh yeah, I was trying to figure that out.
Maybe it's not really picking up your mic. So it might have been the issue that Isidore and I were having, where if you have Zoom open in the browser, because I had to like open Zoom in another window for it to be like, oh, okay, Zoom is over there and using your mic, and then I had to come back here, turn off the mic here, or well, mute the tab here.
Hold on.
Tempted to test these caption machines.
It looks like it got turned off on me or switched cameras on me for a sec. Oh. Now let's see. No. Try.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Ah, damn it, I got it wrong.
Yeah. Okay, now are you picking me up?
Yes.
Yes, you're good.
Okay.
All right. So.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing that bothers me about that. Is that the captions were picking me up before because I was watching them earlier and they were picking me up. So mid-meeting, it switched mics.
What?
The caption machine senses fear.
Okay. Were you going to attempt empath on this again?
I did, and I got a failure. So I failed in my flashback where I got overwhelmed. So I'm overwhelmed while overwhelmed. So I think at this point he's just like, fuck it. Like, the capture machine said it, fuck it. Yeah, so he's just like, you know what? Sure. What else could go wrong today? Just yeah.
Okay. Yes. Well, you
Yeah, I
will.
think he's just like sweating at this point and just like kind of listless after accepting.
Tomorrow, you will get a packet in the mail. It'll have all the details. Everything will be taken care of and handed for you. There will be a plane ticket to Salt Lake City inside, paid for. And by the time you get there, your belongings will already be at the warehouse. There'll be a car waiting for you. You can see the papers will be in the packet. It'll tell you where to drive, how to get the car, all of that stuff. It'll be waiting for you. Are you staying in a hotel right now? Or are you working a local show that you live near?
I think like this would be his first like show flying out because like I'm assuming this happens when he like is like past the training point where it's like, okay, you've completed your training. We'll now talk with you about designing your character and your moves in the ring.
Okay.
So like it was probably like either his debut, well, maybe like after a good debut and then a couple matches of putting over others, people are like, hey, maybe it's his time to shine. And then that match happens. And it now, like, there are some people who like him, and there are others who are like, yo, fire this dude.
As there always is. Okay. So, yeah, it'll be in your it'll be slipped under your hotel room door in the morning. The warehouse will thank you for your service in advance, and it'll be good to have you. And you should really take deep breaths. It'll help you get the impact thing under control.
He, like, does a few things, like, but, what does this mean for my luchador career aside from the damage control I have to do already?
It as far as we're concerned, it doesn't mean anything. You can keep a luchador career and help the warehouse. You'll have a full-time residence with the warehouse paid for. You can fly up from there wherever you need to be. And when you're called in to help get an artifact, you just gotta show up.
Got it. And let's just say a call clashes with a big show. Am I allowed to choose the show over the artifact hunt?
I would. It'll be a case-by-case basis, but we have other agents, so in most cases, it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. Thank you. And everything I need is at my room?
We'll be in the morning.
Okay. Alright. Well, then, thank you, Miss Thorne. I'm kind of relieved this isn't a prank, but I feel like I'm gonna wish this was a prank.
So just for fun, while you're thanking her and stuff, you kind of look away, and when you look back, she's already gone. And then we come back into the modern day area. Enrique has just gotten up and left. Everybody else is there.
Uh, Liz is basically going over the file, like, and basically like trying to figure out kind of as much as she can about how we're gonna have to approach this thing.
So it the file has like a mugshot picture in it, and it says that the target you're going to be staking out, his name is Jared Davis. He is like some mid-level corporate lawyer type who seems to be attempting to pay or to sell the Sword Hilt to pay off some debts. Otherwise, they don't know a whole lot. Like his address is in there, where he works, the place he frequents for coffee, but they don't know much more other than that.
Nicola's probably over like Liz's shoulder, reading along as well.
Mm-hmm. She's just like, okay, well, I mean, could we just like Craigslist ding dong ditch him?
I understood one word of that. But a ditch, I guess, would potentially make sense, depending. But couldn't we just offer to pay and then take it?
That's what I said.
What does that have to do with a list? We don't even have a Craig that works here.
No, Craigslist. It's a thing where you can like post things for sale.
Also, I think there's a
So there are horses.
What?
You said post. So there are horses.
This is an online thing, Nicola. The internet.
Oh, that thing. All right. Just nope. It's so complicated. But all right, basic stand. Go. Oh, lying. We can't do the lying. I see the problem.
Yeah.
Well, we are genuinely interested in getting hands on this.
The problem with that is we...
You can logic out of a lie.
Well, so we discovered the sale after the purchase has already been organized.
Oh, they have a buyer already.
Yes, he already has a buyer, so we can't just buy it from him. Instead, we have to intercept. We would honestly prefer to do it this way anyways, because we would rather not set the precedent that artifacts are something that can be bought and sold. It's
Liz sticks up her hand.
Yes, Liz.
Can we track his cell phone?
You will be able to do that, yes.
Okay.
When you're in the field.
Well, if you can track him and we can see if he carries it with him, if he leaves it in the house, it should be pretty easy to take.
Unless he hasn't left it at the house, he's left it somewhere else.
I mean,
And
if we
that
find
is
out
why
where that
we will be
is.
staking him out. Yes.
Okay. I can set up like a basic drone rotation to make sure that I can keep an eye on him and cover an area. That's pretty easy basics.
Thank you. That'll help.
Okay.
I'll go get my lockpicking stuff.
Yeah, Liz is getting ready to head off towards her area she's claimed as her lab.
Okay. So this guy says they're gonna get their lock picking stuff and gets up to walk away, and we flash back to a time a long time ago. On the table in front of you is your lockpick set. You are in one of them stark gray interrogation rooms. There is a detective that was talking to you, right? But he is now talking to someone that you don't know. But fans just seen her. It is Miss Thorne, the regent, who just talked to Enrique. It is talking to this officer, and you're handcuffed to the table in the room.
That's what I get for trying to do something nice. Could have just left with the stupid thing, but no.
After a moment, the officer huffs and he hands a set of keys to Miss Thorne, and she walks into the room and kind of tosses the keys on the table for you to uncuff yourself. She goes, "You are Skylar Hendricks, correct?"
That's me.
Good. I said Catherine, right?
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get. I am Catherine Thorne, a regent for Warehouse 15. We have been monitoring the situation that you find yourself in, and we are helping you out in hopes of procuring your services in the future.
Well, you did a good start getting me out of here. I do tend to like to work for people who aren't going to throw me in prison afterwards.
Yeah, but you will not only will you not be going to prison for this, but we will be expunging your record of sorts. You more or less won't exist on any cop's radar in a negative way.
Oh. Well, you definitely have my attention.
That
then.
is the deal we are offering. The only thing that you may see as a negative here is that as part of this deal, unless you are told otherwise, we will ask you to sever ties with all your known contacts as of today.
You know, I should probably take a vacation anyway, so this sounds good. What went down today is, I think some of my friend contacts, as you said, are not going to be very happy with me. So
Think
let's
of
do
this
it.
as working witness protection.
I mean, if that's what this was, I would have joined witness protection a while ago.
I can promise this will be a little more exciting.
Good.
Let's get
Well,
out of here then.
all right. I shall set the cuffs down with the key inside of them and pick up their lockpick set, and I guess you'll be sending me some sort of note as to where I'm going.
Yeah, so she will walk you out of the police station and sort of give you the lowdown that you'll be getting a packet with where you're going. They have, for your own safety, considering everything that went down, they have set you up with a secure hotel room until tomorrow morning when you are supposed to get on a plane, blah, blah, blah. All the same stuff that Enrique heard.
I mean, this sounds like a deal. Normally, I don't even get put up in a hotel for free, so this is moving up for me.
You'll find that we attempt, anyways, to take care of our agents.
Well, I guess we'll see how it goes.
So we flash back. If everybody's okay, I would like to flash forward to everybody being on the stakeout in Chicago. Okay.
Follow me.
So I think the current location has Nicola and Sky in a car watching Mr. Davis. There is a there's a little coffee shop diner thing with some outdoor seating where Liz is sitting. As,
Probably bring
like,
it up top screen, watching a few mini drones that are set up to like watch the windows of the house.
and then Damien and Enrique's job is to sort of blend in with the street traffic and follow but not get caught. Sort of the purpose of this is so that you can also alternate who's following. So if he makes a turn, one of you can keep walking and the other can intercept from a different direction or pull the car around to a different location. It's easier not to get caught if you don't directly following somebody. And that's sort of the procedure that is in play.
If it helps, Enrique does drive a tricked out motorcycle.
Oh, yeah, you can be driving that if you want.
I feel like, assuming this guy is like picking it up and driving in his car, it might be easier to have two vehicles just like keeping in touch, cell phone use, like keeping each other. Because I'm pretty sure Bluetooth helmets exist and all, so.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and I think that, you know what, I think that's actually a good point. What you followed him to a bank, and he goes inside for maybe 10 minutes or so, and then comes back out with a suitcase that he didn't have before.
Oh, good.
He did drive his own car to the bank, but now he hails a taxi and gets in the taxi.
Oh.
So, Liz, you can follow him with your drones pretty easily, at least with one of them, to kind of keep an idea, a bird's eye view on him.
Yeah.
And
So
I think I'm going to use that to flash back for Liz. Liz is a NASA robotics scientist, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a daughter of she's a roboticist.
Okay. And is Liz the type to work late at night on projects?
You mean does Liz not have like an off switch for her brain? Yes.
Okay.
She does not have an off switch for her brain.
And does Liz have an easy time making friends with coworkers?
She's a bit socially awkward.
Oh.
She has a tendency to find it way more easier to talk about science than it is to do small talk.
Okay. So you've noticed in the past couple weeks there is a new coworker that has been going out of their way to befriend you. They are also a roboticist, so they work in sort of the same
Area?
area as you, but they're new, so they're, you're sort of a little bit higher on the totem pole than they are. But they've been going out of their way to befriend you. But tonight you're here alone. Earlier in the day, they had, sort of out of the blue, given you a gift.
Okay.
Give me just a second. I think this is the one. So they sort of out of the blue, they gifted you with a old lab coat and a pair of goggles. And it's an old pair of goggles, so you thought it was kind of strange that they gave this to you.
Yeah, because goggles, you have to change them every couple of years for safety. Just like, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Are you staying late tonight?
I mean, probably. I gotta work out this coding flux that's going on.
Oh well. Have fun. I'm just going to be at home tonight, so I guess if you need help, you can always call and ask for help.
I'm pretty sure I got my head on this. I'm good with the coffee, but thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And they leave, and
Not gonna lie, Liz is kind of like weirded out by this, but she's like, okay, because she doesn't normally wear a lab coat. If she has to wear like a non-static suit, that's something very different than a lab coat. She's not a chemist. This is like chemist stuff, so she like probably sets it aside somewhere and heads back to work.
so later that night, do you consider putting it on at all, just like as a, it's here, I want to test it out, or not? You don't have to. I'm just curious.
How creepy does it look?
It doesn't look creepy. It just looks old. It looks like it'd be a little baggy on just about anybody.
And you know what? Yeah, she does try it on because it's like probably like middle of August. Halloween's going to be coming up soon. She could use it. Go as a mad scientist for
Okay.
Halloween.
So as soon as you put on both, you notice at first it's just small things, a few paper clips. Then the objects start getting bigger when Miss Thorne appears in your lab door, and she goes, Oh, that is unfortunate. It seems that I am just a little bit late. But she has a canister in her hand, like you'd use to spray your plants outside with pesticide or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do hold still there, Dr. Bruin. That lab coat has a tendency to attract larger and larger objects the longer you wear it. So just don't move, and I will get it off you in a moment.
Yeah, Liz is like hyperventilating a bit.
It is okay. And she walks up, she sprays it down with a purple mist, and she remembers a half a second late, goes, "Oh, close your eyes," and then there's like some sparks, and
Liz tries to make sure she gets her eyes closed in time.
the the paper clips and stuff fall to the floor, and she goes, quickly, please do take that off."
Yeah, no, she like rips it off and like drops it, just like all but jumping the fuck away from it, and just, what the fuck was that?
It seems.
How did it spontaneous? Is it just magnetism? Like what's your field?
Yes, this, and she pulls out a large foil bag and puts the goggles in first, and then starts putting the lab coat in it. The lab coat in it is Alessandro Volta's lab coat. Would you wear both the lab coat and the goggles? It begins. It creates a magnetic field, and it begins attracting magnetic objects. It's generally not dangerous, but the longer you wear it, the more magnetic it becomes.
Why the fuck would he give me that?
Any number of reasons. Did you make an enemy at work, or perhaps a friend?
The new guy gave it to me.
Professional jealousy. It's actually pretty common. Sorry, yes. I almost forgot to introduce myself. My name is Catherine Thorne. I am a regent for a place called Warehouse 15.
Kill me.
Yes, possibly. Though honestly, for the lab coat is not the most effective way to do it. It would take a lot longer than many other artifacts that the warehouse has tracked down and procured. Lucky for you, I was actually on my way here to see you, Dr. Bird, because we find ourselves in need of somebody with your particular skill set. See, objects like this lab coat and goggles are pretty common.
I think you've got me. I'm a roboticist.
Yes, we are aware.
That wasn't robots. That was breaking physics.
Yeah. But we are in a modern age, and our new agent in charge of sorts has requested that we modernize some of our views at the warehouse. As such, we are looking to hire you.
What can you offer me that NASA isn't?
Well, I mean, for starters, adventures just like this. You will get to save people. You will get to see all kinds of strange and mysterious phenomena. And that pays pretty decent. You get benefits. your living quarters will be paid for. You will get to travel the whole world and not have to play whole time. You will occasionally be in danger, but
I have a question.
ask away.
What did you do with the Rock and Sock'em robots?
Which Rock'em Sock'em robots?
The one I saw an alien stealing.
That is a question that I can't answer, but our agent in charge of the warehouse can show you exactly where they are.
Okay. Okay.
I'm glad to hear it. Then, for tonight, I would like you to return home. In the morning, you will get a packet telling you where to go, what to do. It'll have a plane ticket, it'll have all your information in it. When you arrive at the warehouse, your belongings will either already be on the way or there. Other than that, we'll smooth everything over with your current employer, so you won't have to worry about a thing.
This is real, right? Like, I just haven't, I don't know, slipped into 36 hours no sleep delusion or something, right?
Nope. No, you haven't. Look, Dr. Bruin, this honestly is sort of a courtesy. If I really wanted to, I could just tell NASA you've been transferred to another science division and have you given orders to show up in a small town in Utah. This, again, is a courtesy visit.
All right. I understand. Liz goes the fuck home and drinks a lot of beer and smokes a lot of pot because of what the actual fuck just happened.
Okay, and then we'll fade back into the stakeout. Nicola, how are you feeling about being in a car?
This is awful. No, this is. There are no horses. It moves. It is loud. It
They
is
tried to
cold
get us
most
a
of the
Prius,
time.
okay? They didn't have one, and
What difference would that make?
it wouldn't be loud.
I mean, it is comfortable. I understand that, but also it is always loud. The machine just screaming at you all the time. Talk about
Oh,
the
it's-
radio.
Ah. I mean, give me a minute, and I'll find the classical station at something
So-
FM.
Is it safe to assume like we're all like calling each other?
Yeah, you're gonna have a comm link with the
Discord chat. We're all on Discord.
Well, I figured we probably have the like little agent headset-y things like Secret Service have and whatnot.
Yeah, probably.
No, all the budget went to Janet.
Liz so does everything in text, and there are emojis.
Okay.
Also, are Liz's drones like visible to those who know that they're there, or is it like even the rest of us don't have them?
No, if you look directly at them, they're like somebody's
Yeah, no, that's the nephew. Sorry.
all good. They're about the size of a softball, and they just like the four little spinny blades.
So I think at that point, like, Enrique would just be like, huh, these drones remind me of a really loyal fan that I had back in the ring. Always had, like, cool signs of battle bots. Even wrote me a letter once, and it was really touching to know that someone else goes through the same problems that I do.
Yeah.
Who are
so-
the battle bots? What regiment are they with?
They're basically wrestling robots.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. Or in your terms, old man, they'd be called gladiators?
I know wrestling. You do the oiling and you clash against each other. I know wrestling.
I mean, Turkish oil matches aren't very common.
Time has taken so much from me.
I mean, hey, there's a couple guys who still do it. I mean, there's the greaser whose whole gimmick is that he slathers himself in oil before wrestling you. Wrestling against him is such a mess.
Interesting.
But practicing with him is a nightmare because you're just constantly covered in oil and you have to like wash it all off, get it off your costume, your mask. Ugh.
Hey Liz,
This is
where's
why you
that
do it
taxi
naked.
going?
I mean, I guess there's going to be a background argument about wrestling.
There's like cross chatter of like, all right, I see the target, or well, okay, if you want to see naked wrestling, you gotta go to certain pay channels for that, and those are not channels you want to access in public.
Although, actually, at the mention of Target, that would just snap Nicola right into attention.
Yeah, so you followed your target to a So Chicago has these nice convenient little things called oases where you can pull off the interstate and get gas and food and stuff. And so you follow him to one of these. It kind of goes through the motion. Like he gets out and he puts gas in his car and then he drives around up and he goes inside the food court because it's sort of like a food court. It's got like 4 or 5 restaurants in it.
Could I read a bad situation?
Yes, go for it.
I mean, Nicola has trailed more than a number of people in his life, and let's see, so sharp, no forward. Seriously?
Did you roll? Did you fail again?
Yeah. I'm gonna test something real quick.
You're gonna get a
God.
success on this test.
Okay, cool. It's okay. It's fine. That's fine. Good to know. So yeah, no, that was a good old hard fail.
There's nothing wrong here. It's just a suspicious deal. What could? It's just your regular neighborhood suspicious deal going on.
God.
Yeah,
Going
so
on.
like that, you don't really get anything more than right, like what you already knew. Like you know there are buyers, and you see a couple people that potentially look like they could be the buyer, and that are also walking into the food court, and like it looks like a shady situation going down in public, but like you're not really picking up any other details at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, he goes inside the food court. So eventually you will lose sight of him unless somebody goes in with him.
I mean, that'd probably be about when. I mean, I imagine if Enrique's on his bike, Damien's probably following more on foot.
I think so. I think at some point you would have probably had to get in the car with Nikolai
Oh, right.
to keep up, because he goes up
Mhm.
onto the highway to get to the Oasis.
Mm.
So, yeah, basically, I'm just saying that like everybody can be there,
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
right?
Do you want to go in first, Damien? Do you think they saw you? That he saw you earlier?
I don't know. I mean, I don't mind, but I wouldn't know if he recognizes me. Should I?
Well, somebody has to.
With that, I think Enrique gets up, helmet still on, just kind of gears up. Is like, well, I'm pretty sure he recognized a motorcycle.
I'll go in then.
Okay.
So it's me and Damien going in, or
For now.
okay.
Oh, sorry. Liz is gonna have the drones move around to make sure she can cover any possible exits.
Okay.
And he came in a taxi, so it's left? Or did he
Yes.
come in a... Okay. Which gets rid of the other thing I was going to do, so...
Yeah, no, I just thought that once you mentioned the taxi, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. So Oh wait, so no, he doesn't stop for gas. He just goes right to the Oasis. Never mind. I forget for a second. I forgot that he was in a taxi, but he's in a taxi. So you're right. He gets out. The taxi leaves. He goes into the food court. Inside, like I said, it's just it's got like 5 little fast food restaurants and like a popcorn stand. So there's like a Knuckle Burger and a Taco Hut and Polyhedra's Pizza and stuff like that in there. He just kind of finds a seat at a table in the middle. He doesn't get any food or anything. He picks up like a magazine that's laying on the table and starts flipping through it.
So he's definitely not good at this whole not being conspicuous thing.
So wait. He's sitting at a table alone, no food.
Flipping through a magazine.
Oh, flipping through a magazine
With a suitcase.
with a suitcase. So I think Enrique plays it smart. Probably doesn't go for knockoff for definitely not Mexican fast food, and would probably just go for getting like 2 Hooper meals
Okay.
from it's a very basketball themed fast food burger place.
I love it.
Burger Court?
Burger Court, yes. and
Yeah,
they have like, yeah, like, and its gimmick is like, it had like when you make an order, it offers you like one of those little basketballs and points at a hoop really high up, and if you can make it in, like it's like, oh hey, you get a free like ice cream.
Okay, I love that. It's definitely like a carnival basketball hoop where it's slanted forward, so you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So you can't even do the baseboard trick.
Exactly, because they don't actually want to give you ice cream. They want you to feel like you're going to get ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you just sit down at a nearby table then?
Yeah. So can I roll kick some ass to try to get free ice cream?
You know what? Yes. Do it. Roll kick some ass to try to get some free ice cream.
Now I wish I took the move that's like when you use when oh wait, no, that's only when you're fighting. No, yeah, you get
Wait,
plus
what
one
if it's act
ongoing.
under pressure?
Oh, actually, yeah, I think it would. You know what? Act under pressure is better.
That's what, cool?
Yes, that's plus
Yeah.
Though yeah, I still wish I had the move where it's like you get plus one ongoing for vigorous physical feats outside of combat. But
Nice.
oh, there's my first.
Dang.
And there it is.
Well,
Investigation? No. Free ice cream? Hell yeah.
But does Enrique go to Burger Court a lot?
I feel like yes, because that's like maybe he doesn't eat fast food that often, but that's probably like his first choice.
Okay.
Because yeah,
So Enrique knows that the hoop is rigged, so he doesn't try to like bounce it off the backboard or anything. He just goes for the swish and gets it. So you get a free ice cream cone. What flavor do you get?
I think like yeah, he would place his order like one-handed basketball, just chuck it right into the hoop and be like, and a chocolate ice cream, no sprinkles or whipped cream.
Okay. Yeah. So you have free ice cream and 2 Hooper meals, and you can sit down at a table nearby. And watch him, and after I don't know, say 15 minutes, there's been a kid talking on the cell phone, in the line for Taco Hut, and he gets one of them brown paper bags full of tacos, and he skates over to the table with Mr. Davis, and he sets down his backpack and the tacos, and from your perspective it is pretty clear he's going to try to make this is the exchange. You can see him, like, he sets down his backpack on the table, and then he's going for he's reaching out for the suitcase. And if you want to try to stop him, you have a Tesla instead of a gun, which is basically like a souped up taser. So you can try to stop this from happening, or you can follow the teenager.
I mean,
oh, good.
well, I don't know how I feel about like popping off in like a food court, especially with the item capable of like area of effect drowning.
Oof. I mean, I can try something.
If you have something you want to try.
Yeah. I want to try and wait till a moment where neither of them are quite fully paying attention. I don't know if they look away from the briefcase or anything, but I want to try and casually walk by and use my move for incorporeal.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What
If
does that move do?
what does the description say exactly? It says you may move freely through solid objects, but not people.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Then I'm going to try and move forward, reach through the suitcase, and try and snatch it up. What would that be, a roll for something?
Hold on. Let me. Which playbook is this? Are you again?
I'm using the monstrous.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Let me get to the playbook. And which move is this? This is incorporeal?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, looks like with incorporeal, you do not roll. So you can just reach into the suitcase and grab the sword hilt. And I think that so you grab the sword hilt. Both Mr. Davis and the teenager yell when you stick your hand inside the suitcase and pull out the sword hilt. And I think that is a good place to go to break.
Okay.
So,
All right.
we will be back in about 10 to 15 minutes. So make sure you get up, get water, do all of the things, and of course enjoy the music. And we'll see you in a little bit.
Time to freshen up. I'll be back.
back. But more Warehouse 15. Damien just reached inside a suitcase and pulled out a sword hilt. And I think this is a good time to flashback for Damien. We didn't do Damien's flashback yet, did we?
Mhm.
So, how... Because I know we were talking about Damien having some memory loss.
Mhm.
So what was it like for...
Yeah, the
I'll fix
cameras are
that-
mixed up.
I'll fix that in a moment. So how bad was it? What was it like for Damien when that kind of first started happening?
It took a while for them to notice just because it's hard to remember what you've forgotten, but they weren't exactly happy about it. I mean, they have a thing about, what's theirs is theirs, and losing that suddenly is definitely not something you'd be happy about.
Right. How much memory did...
So it's more bits and pieces. Damien has an idea that he's not exactly like most people in the fact that he's not human. He remembers a little bit of what he was traveling to do, doesn't remember who with, loosely remembers the idea that the person he was traveling with worked with someone else or a group or something, but other than that, it's mostly just small details and a vague idea of who they are.
Okay. And like did Damien remember like where they lived and stuff like that?
No. They don't know where they grew up. They just know that they've traveled a lot.
Okay. So I think what happened sort of is that at some point you were just kind of wandering. You don't know where you're supposed to be going or anything, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you're just kind of somewhere, maybe along a bus route or something, and like a car pulls up, kind of a fancy black town car type car, and the back window rolls down.
I'll be right back. Keep going. Sorry.
Right, and Miss Thorne is there, and she Damien, yes? That is you.
Yeah?
Good.
Is it?
Hmm?
Sorry, is it? Who are you?
I'm Catherine Thorne. I am a regent for something called Warehouse 15. I have been looking for you.
I'm really sorry if we've met before.
No, we have not.
Okay.
It does seem, though, that you've lost something, Damien, and I would like to help you get it back.
How do you know about that?
I know a great many things, and I can show you if you would be so kind as to get in the car. And at this point, like, a driver gets out of the front seat and opens the back door.
I know I don't have many memories. I do know, however, not to get in a car with strangers. You want to maybe explain a little more?
I. Here's the thing, Damien. I work for not so much a government agency as a secret organization. We collect things that we call artifacts. They have magic powers, let's say. Somebody used one of them to take your memories.
I was with someone. Have you been missing any of them recently? The artifacts or whatever they're called.
We've been missing quite a few of our artifacts, unfortunately.
Damien will go ahead and slide into the car.
Yeah, driver shuts the door behind you, and then a few seconds later, the car pulls away from the curb and back into traffic. And Miss Thorne goes, I would like you to come work for us, Damien. So that we can help you get your memories back and protect you, as well as protect other people. A lot of these artifacts are dangerous, and even some of the ones that aren't dangerous can be used in very dangerous ways.
I mean, I've heard that part before, but why me specifically?
Because you've been affected by an artifact. We prefer to take people in who have already been, let's say, exposed to artifacts, because it's, let's say, less messy that way, right? Than just plucking somebody who's never had experience with such things off the street. As you probably are thinking to yourself right now, it is extremely odd.
That's putting it mildly, but yes, we'll go with that. What exactly would I be doing? Just finding more?
Yes. You would be helping other agents search for such artifacts, investigating phenomena that are likely artifact related, neutralizing artifacts, and then bringing them back to the warehouse for safe storage.
All right. I'd be open to an arrangement. However, I do have a question. Would
Yes.
I be able to... You wouldn't happen to have a list of your employees, would you?
Yes, we have very good records of our employees.
Give me access to those and I'll work with you.
It is a deal.
Lovely. Right, well, that's it then.
And she goes, that is, I am glad to hear that. She hands you a envelope, like a big one of them manila envelopes, and everything you will need is in here. We're going to drop you off at the airport. Your flight is in about 3 hours from now. Tickets in there, rental agreement for a car when you get there. It's all in there, and as well as all the information on where you're going. It's all in there.
All right then.
Yeah, and just like you said, you get dropped off at the airport, wherever you are, and go in. And we fade back into the food court. You have the sword hilt in your hand, which you do know, as long as you're holding it, that artifact is hot. It is active. So starting right now, if anybody lies, they're going to start drowning on salt water.
Well, bye. Damien's gonna walk off in the opposite direction.
You just start walking away.
Yeah.
Do you tell your teammates outside that you have the sword hilt?
I don't know, well, I think he would assume that Enrique is watching, but if not, he says, I don't know what to do with this. Where do I put it? It's in my hand. I wasn't supposed to touch it, was I?
This is all coming over radio.
Yes.
Get to the car. Now.
Where's the car?
All right, I'm coming in, and goes to open the door.
Yeah, if I can do that, then I'll go ahead and hop in.
What?
Car's out.
The car has been cursed. I cannot escape it.
I'll open the door for him. I'll unlock it.
Child lock on.
Yeah, so they're not going to try to
Open.
attack you right now, but the kid and Mr. Davis are going to try to stop you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you hear them shouting, hey, stop, where are you going, what are you doing, kind of thing, as you walk away. Okay. And
Yeah,
what were you saying?
Damien's doing a brisk job now.
Yeah, like Nicola's running in. Here's an important question. So, like back in Warehouse 13, everyone came from a government position somewhere. What, I guess, is Nicola's cover?
Yeah, so as part of this, you would all get covers instead of, sort of like Claudia got a cover instead of actually being from a government organization. So I don't know. For Nicola, it would
Shakespeare in the Park.
like, cause I'm trying to think, because for Nicola it'd have to be something that would be less suspicious for Nicola, and I don't know what that would be.
Russian tourist.
It would probably have to be either. It would probably have to be military, honestly.
I was gonna say military or maybe State's Department.
State's Department, that's it. Yep. Because former spy. So, and by me I mean Nicola.
Sure you do.
Okay.
Oh damn! You got me. Ah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So your cover is that you are State's Department. I don't know
Okay,
what positions they have at the State's Department.
All right.
Attaché with the State Department, aka a spy.
Yeah. Yeah. So for in your case, like, they're attempting to stop Damien, but not so much in a we're going to attack you kind of way. It more in a shocked and you're walking away with our
Multi-million-dollar thing.
yeah.
Okay, in that case,
Like eventually they're going to recover and
Yeah.
full on go after Damien, but it gives everybody a second to react before they do.
I'm just turning on the car and moving it as close to the entrance as I can.
Yeah.
Nicola is on
I tried.
is
Okay.
on their way in. Liz definitely has an eye on the situation with drones.
So I have a very bad idea.
Okay.
So I'm thinking Daredevil move. Take the adult and power slam him onto the tacos.
Damn.
Okay.
Because if anything, with the hope of like maybe getting hot sauce in his eyes, so it's harder for him to chase us. But also, okay, maybe not a full-on power slam, but like basically like, and yeah, I hate to waste tacos, but it's like, all right, drive his head into the taco bag in a way that splatters taco and hot sauce all over his face.
Okay. Yeah. Roll your. Oh, did you roll your Daredevil move?
I'm gonna roll it right now.
Okay.
This is going to be plus tough. Is there? Let me roll the dice.
Ooh,
Dang.
wow.
Well,
Nice.
shit.
So I get to pick 3. So I'm gonna go with interrupt a move that the adult is making.
Okay.
I'm going to give Damien +1 forward.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I'm trying to think, do I risk harm in this situation?
I think so, because like you're going to start fighting him, so he's going to start struggling.
All right, so I'm going to make my third one that I don't suffer harm in return.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So you just full on. Damn.
He struggles. but it's
Powerbomb,
more like
motherfucker,
the
now
flailing
taco
of-
stand.
It's more like the flailing of someone who is not a fighter. He is an office worker. He's not much of a fighter. You slam him into this bag of tacos, interrupting what he's doing, and the kid is still trying to stop Damien, but the adult is officially distracted. Damien, roll act under pressure for me
Yeah, sure.
to see what
you
happens.
have a forward.
And you get a +1, so
Okay. That's. Yikes. Wait, hold on. You said that's act under pressure. That would be a cool move, right?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, 6. That gives me a 7 total.
Wait. Oh, that's what you need, though.
Yeah,
Woo!
that's enough to get me to a mixed
Yep.
success, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so on a 7 and 9, the keeper, me, is going to give you a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. I think, so you're running away. This kid's trying to catch up. I think the worst outcome here is that he catches up, right?
Mhm.
He doesn't. He's not able to take the sword hilt from you or anything, but he catches up to you. He reaches out and he like grabs a hold of your arm or something.
Goodness. Hold on.
Is Nicola in range yet?
Yeah, you can be inside the door.
I don't know if this counts as a manipulate someone thing, but when he grabs Damien, Damien is going to push back and say, "You really don't want to do this, just walk away."
Okay.
It's
yeah,
true.
I'll have you hold off on that roll for now. Nicola, do you have something you want to do now that you're in the inside?
So here's what I would like to do. Nika would like to go over and using the bag, the diplomatic courier pouch that they carry with a with one of the catch bags in it, would like to try and grab the sword hilt.
Okay.
So I don't
Turn
know
it
if
back
that's an
off.
act under pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, so act under pressure. Come on, friend. You can do it. Yes, all right.
Nice.
Oh,
You
Oh,
got you
okay.
got all them failures out earlier.
Yeah.
It started with the free ice cream.
So what is in your courier bag? Do you have like something to neutralize the artifact?
It's a neutralizer bag.
Okay, cool. So yeah, it goes inside. This has actually, it's a success, and I think that works in your favor here because when the artifact gets dropped into the bag, there is a flash, and the kid lets go of Damien and stumbles away because there's always like a flash and sparks when the artifact gets neutralized. So you are all free. Enrique has. Do you pin Mr. Davis down into the tacos, or do you just slam him into it?
I just kind of like slam him into it because like the goal is for him to be able to have that moment of like, oh crap, I'm covered in tacos. Maybe some hot sauce to the eyes.
All right,
Right.
yeah, that is what happens, and you're all free to run out of the building and
Get in the car.
get in the car. Yes.
I think because like Enrique would probably be noticed for pushing a man into tacos, he goes for the motorcycle instead, just to like draw heat away from him.
Right. That makes sense.
Like
All right,
basically at this point,
sorry.
he's gonna leave the others to the cops. I mean, to dealing with people chasing the artifact, and he's gonna distract the cops.
Okay.
Speaking of, does the car have diplomatic license plates?
You know what? Roll. In this case, roll manipulate someone, and then if you get, basically instead of, it's not perfect, but if you get a 10 plus, then yes.
Oh.
I got an 8.
Okay, so I'm gonna say yes, because it's a mixed success. So you remembered, you know what? You remembered to put one plate on.
That's all it's needed.
So there's
Yeah,
one
I have
diplomatic
settled
plate.
into Nicola's cover. I'm good.
So
I'm gonna pull out as soon as everyone's in before they've even buckled up. I'm just gonna leave as quickly as we can here.
okay,
Not speeding per se, but not wasting time.
and yeah, as you do that, we're gonna flash back for to roughly 3 months ago. Nicola, you are still trying to adjust to your first couple of weeks in the new time that you are in. after the warehouse pulled you out of the effects of Sylvia Plath's typewriter, they brought you back to America, set you up with like a little apartment and stuff. How's that going for you, this adjustment? You're muted.
Who, me?
That was weird. Anyone going into Nicola's apartment at this point, they would. It is covered in books and newspapers and at least 2 broken tablets. Just all sorts of different media everywhere, and Nicola has just been buried in research for how long has it been now? A couple of weeks, you said?
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Probably
Just
interrupted by like Liz coming by and being like, "Okay, no, you're coming out. I'm teaching you about taco trucks.
about the what?
You'll understand when you eat it."
Okay. I'm still adjusting to the ways of colonial Americans. So much has changed. Almost 300 years.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially the rate that humanity's gone off the rails when it comes to like computer technology. Once we got it figured out, science just is easy to understand once you get it.
Oh my
So, one night, there, you're coming home maybe from the store or maybe from an outing with Liz. But when you get back to your apartment, Miss Thorne is there. She's sitting on the couch, waiting for you to return. And when you walk in, she doesn't really wait for you to do anything or say anything. She just says, "Ah, finally, Mr. Helich, you're back. You've returned. Good."
Does Nicola know she's a regent?
Yes, she's the one who sent you up with this apartment.
Just instant salute. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that is not needed, but thank you nonetheless. Nicola, we've discovered a problem with Warehouse 15. We want to reinstate you as a warehouse agent.
I see. Of course, I am always happy to serve the warehouse. I would be amiss to not mention I am not entirely caught up in the more current events of the world. There are gaps in my knowledge, although my knowledge of warehouse protocols is still strong.
That won't likely be a problem, because what we really need you for is your expertise on another matter. See, Warehouse 14 was a very short-lived warehouse. Unfortunately, something happened and we're still trying to piece together that. As we're trying to piece that together, we have noticed that while somebody was able to trigger most of the transfer protocols for the warehouse, several artifacts are missing. And it has come to our attention that we are missing 3 people from the bronze sector as well.
Ugh.
The reason we'll need to reinstate you, Nikolai, is because your arch nemesis was among them.
Nicola freezes in place, like every muscle locked up. Just no expression, nothing. And I actually want to run a trust your gut roll,
Okay.
which is Nicola's special ability. I think, yeah, because I have to roll that manually. Okay, let's try that again. So that's gonna be a 5. Oops. Okay, so on a miss, your instincts lead you into danger. This will be fun.
Okay. So what were you hoping by hoping to gain with this trust you got?
What would? I think what Nicola was hoping to figure out, or just get an inkling of, if Nicola was in trouble because of their past.
Okay, so I think you the sense you get is that like it's just this idea that like yeah, I'm needed, I'm needed, and this is somebody that I know, somebody that I can stop, kind of thing. That like that's what your instincts are telling you, that's what your gut's telling you, and that is likely going to lead you into danger.
So Amelie is alive. I see.
Yes.
Where do I begin?
Tomorrow morning, Liz will stop by with everything you need, and we'll take you to the warehouse.
Thank you, ma'am. If it's not presumptuous of me, I would like some time to reflect.
You have tonight.
It's all I require. And then I am once again at the service of the warehouse.
As always, we thank you for your service, Nicola.
Another like click heel, salute, like pauses halfway down, like confused, like yes, ma'am.
Enjoy your night, Nicola. And then she leaves, and we flash back to quite possibly Nicola clutching the dashboard as they race down the highway.
Sorry, Nicola. Don't have time to not use the lead foot. We don't know who else was watching that.
I did not know you had missed a limb. Lead is a terrible option for replacement, though. It's poisonous.
Liz's voice crackles over the radio. It means they have a heavy foot when pressing on the gas.
Yes, acceleration. Ah, I see. Then lead foot further.
Gold star for trying.
There was an attempt.
I would like to see if anyone is following us, if that is all right.
Yeah. Let's see. Read a bad situation.
There it is. I have no idea how that would come in handy, but I do have the driver +1 ongoing while driving. Does
Yep.
that
You just
Excellent.
get a +1.
great? Yeah, sharp is default 1. Oh dang! That's almost the best I could do.
damn!
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So
Advanced
that-
success.
you don't
so
have the
any-
advanced success improvement yet, but
I do not.
you do get to hold on. You get to hold on 3 questions. So you can.
Any dangers we haven't noticed?
Okay, so there is definitely somebody following you.
Okay.
You notice them because they are on one of the fancy motorcycles, right? They're on
Oh.
like one of them little speed bikes, weaving
Shit.
in and out of traffic to make sure that they stay on your tail. They are, dressed all black.
Damn.
Black helmet covering their face, black leather.
So then my other 2 questions would be: what's the best way out?
Liz is setting up with the local Google Maps to see if there's any traffic. Google Maps is actually very useful for up-to-date traffic.
It is. It's actually amazing. Hey, Enrique, we've got a cyclist following us.
He's just like, actually, am I getting followed by cops, or have they just, or have mall cops just been like, you know what, this is just, are mall cops gonna mall cop it out?
I think as you were pulling out of the parking lot, you see the mall cops kind of like on their radios talking, but they're not chasing you. You probably as you're leaving, you hear sirens and stuff, but you're not getting chased yet. Like if it's going to happen, it hasn't happened yet, kind of thing.
He's like, oh, I guess I'll add more heat on my tail. And I think he's gonna try to find the cyclist and use the Tesla on him. Or actually, no, that would probably risk him veering off the road. I think he's gonna try to like steer them off the road. Well, actually, you know what? Let me see what the cyclist is. Because if it's like a child, I don't want to hurt a child. That's just mean and awful. Don't hurt children, Chad.
No. Yeah. So you.
Is it a motorcyclist?
Yeah, like
It
it's a
is.
motorcyclist. Like it's a
Oh.
full-grown adult.
Oh, okay. Now I feel less bad about this. So I think I'm gonna try to drive up. I'm like,
I have
I'm
an
trying to
idea.
I'm like tasering a guy on a motorcycle just seems not in character to do. Like that's too dangerous.
You said your motorcycle was tricked. Maybe you're able to. Maybe you can like ram them or something.
I mean, yeah, maybe
Well-
tricked out with like heavier hull. Well, no, that would probably or like
So that may not be an Enrique's thing,
What do I need
but
to
sup?
have one of the drugs go into the motorcyclist's face?
That would be. That'd be act under pressure.
Okay.
And yes, Nikolai, I would be pointing out the cyclists following us as they weave in and out of traffic.
Oh no, more to the point, that's probably about the time Nicola would pull out one of his flintlocks. Now, I haven't talked with you about this yet, Teddy. But, back in the 1700s, there wasn't exactly non-lethal ammo. but I have a feeling something has been worked out for these that they now do use non-lethal ammo. Is where I was going.
Okay, yeah. I think that's more than possible. The warehouse has more
Oh.
than a few things that don't generally exist
That's
usually.
Okay.
So basically, I think
I was kind of thinking like a Tesla beanbag, basically.
that's what I was gonna say. Basically, like a some kind of weird beanbag round.
I have a success.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so what happens is you fly your drone into
One.
their face.
I apologize if I'm a little bit off.
You're fine. You're fine. And
No.
and so they swerve. They like swerve, and I think that puts them close both to either Enrique or like lining up a shot for Nicola.
Kind of like boxing them in.
Mm.
Does that work for everyone?
That seems great. I was going to use a help out, but I'm going to just let you go for it with that.
Good with Enrique?
Yeah, you take
Okay.
the shot. Enrique would feel less bad if he didn't do it.
Fair. Do I get a +4 on this from the assistants or
I'll say yes.
1?
Yeah.
All right. Well, interesting.
Okay, so this is
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to how I get the injured too. So, man, I rolled terrible.
They might be shooting too.
It could also be because you're in a moving vehicle and shooting from a moving vehicle, you may like end up your hand against the side of the window. Accidentally pushing the auto roll up and getting your chin caught.
I think
That's pretty funny.
that would be funny. I was also gonna say it could just be something that happens when they crash, kind of thing, where because it because it's a Tesla like beanbag or rubber round or something, instead of like getting knocked off their bike for a moment they involuntarily speed up. So for a second they speed up and then swerve into the car a little bit, and that is how you get so I'll say it's not bad, maybe like 2 harm, nothing super bad, like you're able to mostly get out of the way, but you get a little banged up, right?
Okay.
Maybe you fall back onto the my brain just spaced on what the word for it is.
The
side mirror?
I was gonna
dash?
say the shifter kind of
Oh,
yeah. The you kind of like fall back on that, and you're gonna have a nice bruise from it, kind of thing.
just like ow. Nikolai, remind me later. We need to practice your moving vehicle shooting.
Gosh. Ow. Yes. It's easier from a horse.
But for Enrique, you like you're behind them. You witnessed the crash. Like you could stop and either do something about this person or keep following them. It's your choice. JT, are you there?
What's up? Sorry.
I was gonna say because you're behind the motorcycle when he crashes. So if you want, you can like stop and subdue this person, or you can keep following them.
I think does he look injured or like?
A little bit. He's definitely. There's a good chance he's not going to be getting back up, and that they're not going to be getting back right up and following you. Their bike looks a little banged up, and they definitely look like they're probably banged up.
I think I just like stopped like put him in a position where like an EMT would have an easier time getting him, and then go back on the motorcycle and
So
go.
like
Oh, that's sweet.
you pull up and like make sure he's like laying on his back and
Yeah, and like
Recover.
maybe like see if there's like a pedestrian that's more of a medical expert that's able to like run up. And then once that happens, it's like, all right, you got this. I'm gonna go.
okay. Yeah, that is all more than possible, and you all get back. You have some rendezvous point that you go to meet up with Janet. Where you can make sure the artifact's secure. Where do you want that to be? Where do you want your rendezvous point to be?
We're in Chicago. Not really embassies. Hey, what's your alma mater there, Liz?
Seattle.
Okay, your school is in Seattle. That doesn't help then.
Yeah.
Don't know Chicago well enough.
She had to go to school nearby to save money.
Hey, I know how that is. Is there some sort of sciencey museum that we can get the bag to Liz and she can make a drop that way? Or they can make the drop that.
Honestly, she's waiting at the cafe still, so.
Yeah, but it's easy enough to get back to the cafe to you.
True.
Yeah, I mean, you can make your rendezvous point the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago.
Great. So we'll swing by and transfer the bag over to one of Liz's science bags.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Yeah, so you meet up with Janet. Did everything go all right? Is everybody all right? Nobody got hurt or anything?
I think everything turned out okay.
One
Damien, did...
Hmm?
Go ahead, Liz.
Didn't you guys die off of his bike?
I think at that Mike pulls up, is like, don't worry, he's getting medical attention.
Okay, that's good.
But also, I kind of need a laundromat and maybe someone to hide my motorcycle. Do you have like one of those paint sprays like they have in Grand Theft Auto?
What?
Yeah, you know, like where you get you're getting in a cop chase, you just drive into the garage, they spray paint your car, and the cops go away.
We do actually have something for that.
Time for you to do a proper wrap, nor is it enough time for the paint to dry in order to be able to leave.
Oh, I mean, I could leave the bike at the garage. I'm pretty sure I don't want to drive around in it while, like...
It's fine. I got this. And she has like an old big leather bag, and she opens it up and she pulls something out, and she hands it to Enrique, and it just clip this to the motorcycle. Just remember to take it off every couple hours. It'll change the paint
Uh,
color though.
He clips it to the motorcycle out of confusion.
Yeah. When you do, it just changes it to like a. What color is your motorcycle? Like, what does it normally look like?
I think it was like a white goldish motorcycle. So like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he was probably careful not to get blood on it because that would be very visible. But hold on, let me actually find his picture in the Discord chat.
Okay.
Search.
Oh
wait, no.
But yeah, if it's like a white gold color, yeah, it just changes like it to like a blue color instead, right? So like it's now blue instead of white gold.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. He's like, oh man, can I keep this?
For now.
Also, does it have like RGB settings that would totally wow the fans?
Unfortunate, the color selection is random.
But it does it every time I clip it on and off.
Yes.
He does so repeatedly.
Is there a certain color you're looking for?
He's probably gonna keep flipping it until he gets like.
Liz is moving closer to this because she kind of wants to like run some tests on this to see if you could set up a way to make it programmable so you could actually pick what colors you want.
I think yeah, he's just gonna just excitedly just check out the colors until he finds one that's like super like too dope to like risk testing it away.
Okay.
Like if he gets like maybe like a dark crimson, he'll probably be like, you know what? Technically goes against my color theme, but that's cool.
Yeah, so alright, so it takes you 7 tries to get like a dark crimson color.
Yes. But also, he probably want to hand off like his jacket and gloves because those might have blood on them.
Okay. Yeah, that is more than possible. A matter of fact, Janet just opens up her bag again and has like, here, I have a spare change of clothes for you, and I will take that, and she just puts that in her big leather bag.
He's like, thanks. I'm sorry if your bag smells like tacos for a few days.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Now, so Enrique, are you staying here in Chicago? Didn't you have a show or something coming up?
Well, yeah. What's it? Suplexomania is tomorrow. So I gotta be there for the big the ultimate suplexer battle royale.
All right, just lay low till then, and everybody else, let's head back to the warehouse then.
Do you guys want tickets? I could probably get you some.
I guess yeah. Do y'all want to wait and go to the wrestling show?
Liz has tickets.
Huh?
Has tickets.
This is just ready to go.
Okay.
Liz was planning on taking Nicola to this to like give another dose of culture.
Okay. You know what? So we will fast forward to the wrestling show. And so like as the show goes on, Nikolai, you get a vibe, right? You're sitting there, you're enjoying yourself. You're still very unsure about the snacks that they keep handing you.
Liz is like the history behind.
Absolutely not understanding what kayfabe is at all. It's
Like,
why are they doing this? Why is the referee not doing anything about it? They clearly see it.
Kayfabe.
You say this word, I do not understand. What does that have to do with? They are cheating.
Acting. It's a show. It's fun.
I just,
With fighting.
This
I just-
isn't real.
I just imagine Nicola having a hard time understanding like
Yeah,
the
the-
very simple nachos that they give you like at a show like this, where it's just like chips and cheese.
Not understanding that, like, it's just fully marked out right now.
The only
There's
the
probably just
only
people
thing,
staring at you weird.
Yeah.
the only thing Nicola gets is beer. Is like, okay, I understand.
Yeah, this.
Why is it
this
so? Why is
understandable,
it so
but
weak?
it's
and
terrible.
thin?
But as you're there, you get a vibe, right? You start to
Yes.
feel like somebody's watching you.
Someone's watching me, or are these nacho things just doing terrible? Right. Oh no, what's going on? And well, instant like snap up, look around.
And as you do, you catch just a glint of who. What does your arch nemesis look like?
Hmm. Let's see. I need to come up with a very quick description.
And also remind me what their name is again.
Henri is the first name. Last name, well, we're gonna come up with that later. But Henri, Henri.
Okay.
But he was a French aristocrat, blonde hair, these beautiful green eyes, very chiseled features, like chiseled but still kind of boyish features, like a runner's physique kind of thing. You know, like a French fucking spy, bastard.
So like the spy from TF2, but more French.
I don't hate that actually.
Yeah. So you catch it. You catch a glimpse of Henri in the crowd, and then they disappear, like going back towards like where the bathrooms and the food stands and stuff would be.
Nicola is out of his seat and booking ass for that area.
Liz like is at first like is kind of worried, but he's also been complaining about the nachos doing things to his gut, so she kind of thinks that he's going to the bathroom.
What does Damien and Sky think about Nicola just getting up and running off?
I'll be honest, Damien's likely not paying attention to anyone in the row. Very fixated on the show.
I would be down in more of the common areas anyway. So I will be following Nikolai a little bit as he seems to be moving with purpose.
Okay.
Liz is a very vocal audience participant, and most of it seems to be swear words in Spanish.
Heck yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
So what I need is both Nicola and Sky to roll act under pressure.
And
You are trying to move through a crowd of people.
Move forward.
Mhm.
Very close numbers.
I like it. It's fun. Good.
Yeah. No, the mixed success is the best one.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So what happens is Sky, you catch up. You're able to keep up with Nicola. You're right there. And
Oh. I have an idea.
Okay.
So, how about a worse outcome idea of? So we're trying to get through. We have to go right past ringside, like right past that barrier.
Okay.
Just as we're doing so, a wrestler gets thrown into the crowd.
Okay. Yeah. I think that works. So you get hit by a wrestler. Okay, you get hit by a wrestler named Daring Blair. They were on the top rope. They were going to attempt to move, but then they got knocked off the top rope and they fall. Honestly, they fall into both of you because they fall into Nicola first, but having rolled so well, Sky caught up to Nicola and then also gets hit by Daring Blair as they go over the top rope.
This is why I quit.
Getting knocked over, trying to scramble out from human.
What are we looking for anyway? Because whatever it was, they probably saw us there.
Yes, I know he saw us. It's Henri.
Have you told us about this person?
Yeah, yeah, definitely that is, why Nicola was reinstated, was to get this person that was bronzed.
Then I'm pretty much going to try and clear a path for Nicola to try and catch up now that we've been delayed. Nicola can handle himself.
Okay. Yeah, so the delay is just enough that unfortunately, Nicola, you know they're there, but you cannot figure out where they went anymore. And you're looking and you're looking, but you just can't find them.
Nicola is uncharacteristically flustered. In like normally it's like a confusion kind of, I don't entirely understand, but this is like actually angry.
This guy's gonna be too busy.
Just eventually, like,
where's the security office here?
I mean, that's probably a tremendous. That's either like an enormous kayfabe moment or real, like, oh damn, we messed up the kayfabe here.
Mm-hmm.
And how big of a show is this?
The Plexomania?
Yeah.
I mean, it has mania at the end of it, so it's got to be pretty. Like, this is one of those like it's not the show to end all shows, but like.
But it's big enough that it would definitely have a.
Yeah, it'd have a crowd, and this is usually. I think it'd be like, if they wanted some wrestlers to go over, this would be the moment for it. There may be some title swaps here and there, but it's more about like, okay, this is where we make some of our stars try to shine.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely what we're seeing in the ring, and so, but yeah, so there is a security office somewhere. I don't know where it'd be, but
I'm just going to try and sneak in and get a copy of the cam footage of the cameras,
Okay.
so that we can.
There's not really any pressure for you to do this here. I think that's easy enough. You sneak in and you get camera footage.
Yeah, there's no way we can investigate it enough to find the guy right now. But Sky can look over, or not Sky. Liz can look over it later and give us some clue as to where this guy was, maybe.
Okay. What is Liz doing? Does Liz have a favorite wrestler? Somebody she's hoping to win tonight or something?
Who could it be? What?
Yes, the one that she's been following ever since her aunt got her hooked on luchador wrestling. What is his name? Oh, the Supler Exorcist.
Suplexorcist?
Suplexorcist.
Okay. So you're cheering that on, waiting for that match to happen, and what about Damien? Is Damien just there? Is Damien just not?
Damien is mostly just thinking to themselves that they're not quite understanding what the point of this is, of what the point of the show is, how this is entertaining to most humans or whatever, but they're still very much so watching intently, trying to figure it out. They're kind of just dead to everything else. Unless somebody specifically interacts with them, they're just kind of zoned out.
Okay, so I think this will probably be our last roll of the night, but I want to know, Enrique, roll, kick some ass, and let's see how you do in your
Yeah,
Get it!
Oh wait, hold on. I just realized my should be a 3 because I have intensive training. It didn't factor
Let's
that in.
get over. Let's get over.
Oh,
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, so we get to see.
Well.
You know what I think? What happens here for this match,
Nice.
just because it's fun this way, is Enrique wins a match that secures him a title shot.
Ooh.
Like it's one of those storylines where they're going to rise you really fast, kind of thing, and see
What?
how it goes from there. But so you win and you're gonna get a title shot.
Oh damn! If winning the suplex battle royale.
Taz comes out, cuts a promo on you about stealing his whole everything.
yeah.
Right. What's it? Yeah, no, I think it'd be an interesting angle to take because, like, it's like, all right, we're gonna brush the controversy of like that botch by going like, oh look, he's winning matches. He's gonna have a title shot. It's gonna be really great.
Yeah.
But also, I just love the concept of a suplex battle royale where it's like, all right, the only way it's a battle royale, but the only way to actually throw opponents out of the ring is for you to throw them out via suplex. So you're allowed back in the ring if you're the initiator of the suplex, which probably leads to like controversies in storylines.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's cool. And then so the
Nothing.
last
As a out of character, I know nothing about wrestling, so if I go wrong with Liz, correct me.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
We got you.
yeah.
Like Niccolo knows nothing about wrestling. Jack knows about wrestling.
I'm like semi-casual in wrestling. Like there are people who know way more, go way harder on this. Like actually have like subscriptions to like IJPW and will be like, "Yo, Discord, I'm streaming it now. Get in."
Fight TV. Right after this, I'm going and watching the AEW matches.
Hey.
Yeah, so I know some about this kind of wrestling, but I mostly know about the wrong kind of wrestling for this. Uh, so the last thing that we see is back at the warehouse. The footage that Sky got, we see one little frame of Henri meeting a stranger, who kind of probably reminds you of Nicola, right? Like he's very standing very proper in a way, but he has his long curly hair, in a much older style, and they meet with Henri, and then a car pulls up, and they drive out, and that's the footage. And that
It's something.
is how we're going to end for tonight.
Oh,
How did
dang.
everybody like the first session?
I got free ice cream. I got to slam someone into tacos, and I won a title shot. Like,
That was good.
yeah, that
We're
was
starting
fun.
to figure out how we all interact.
Yep.
And how each of us kind of like works in the team.
Mhm.
Uh,
And I love the. Oh wait, no, sorry.
Oh, you don't love it? Fine.
No, I do love it, but I feel like I talked over somebody else. So I was like, wait.
You good?
I'm still trying to learn voices, so I was like, who did I talk over? Okay.
at the same time as you, and that was my bad.
I think you were going first, so
I don't remember what I was gonna say, so you go ahead.
okay. I was gonna say that the flashbacks were a real nice touch because it even gave like opportunities to tie in some histories together. And then I looked at my histories and I realized like I only have like with two people I have supernatural encounters, and with two people it's like semi-normalish.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll that was kind of the point. I wanted to give a glimpse at some of the characters with the flashbacks in a different way, while also kind of starting us in the warehouse kind of thing. It's a little harder to do the TV show way of, oh look, they're fresh out of the box agents when we're doing tabletop RPGs. But I
Also,
think it went
you
well,
don't
too.
have that writer's room, annoyingly.
I do not have a
We
writer's
are
room,
the
no.
writer's room.
I mean, that's true too.
We also don't get blurry cam to indicate flashbacks, so it's very.
Wait,
Like-
you guys didn't have blurry cams whenever we were flashing back?
I mean, I don't have a cam at all, so. As far as I know, I'm just the letter J on the Zoom
And the letter T.
and a T. So there we go. I'm initials. I am. I hope that you just continue to perceive me as initials, even though I think the Twitch thing has my face on it, so I'm perceived anyway.
Oh.
Alright, yeah. So, I'll have everybody sign out for the night. Tell us where we can find you and stuff, and we will start this time going backwards. We will start with Sky.
Hi, I'm the player Sky. I'm Nick. I'm on Twitter at fell_strike. The other game I'm in this season isn't starting yet, so I'm not going to talk about it until later.
Alright, and what's next? Liz. Liz, where can we find you on the internet?
Sorry, didn't hear you.
You're fine.
Hi, I'm Alex or Boss or Can Chaos Art. You can find me at Twitch or on Twitter at Can Chaos Art, where I post artwork. I do digital art and weird stuff You can find me next tomorrow night, actually, over on the Blackfeather Guild for Animus Absentis. It is one of our longer running campaigns, and it's anarcho socialism in space. uh, we have gone off the rails, and I get to play our the dad of the group. He is a 56-year-old a gay trans man with a giant rooster that is his emotional support cock.
Awesome. And
I'm
Damien.
I am too proud of that joke. Actually, like, justified it in character. The chicken does help him. But yeah, that's where you can find me next. Fuck, this was so much fun. I've been like bouncing ever since we had the session 0 last week.
Awesome. And Damien.
Yeah, I played Damien. You can find me at Cat in a Bird Cage on Twitter. I hope to be updating more often about the Thrall RPG that I've been working on. But aside from that, yeah, it's just me being a fool on the internet. So.
And Enrique.
Hi, I am JT, and I have played the Suplexorcist tonight. You can find me on Twitter at Brownest Nerd. I'm working on figuring out what I'm going to do in terms of playing RPGs online, and this is probably, my first or second attempt at playing RPGs online, and this was very exciting, and I've always wanted to play, like, a long-term Monster of the Week game, and I'm just like, yeah, this is real fun, and I hope to, like, undo the damage of D&D brain and not instinctively think to just go to violence first, even though I've built a very like kick some ass oriented character. So the empathy move is like a nice twist, and I'm gonna play it out, have fun, hopefully win more free ice creams.
Awesome. All right, and Nicola.
Hello, everybody. I am Capjack, your demon captain of the Seven Hells. Tonight I've been playing Nikola Ilyich, a 17th century, very confused warehouse agent. But when I'm not doing that here on Friday nights on Nerds with Dice, you can find me on my own channel, twitch.tv/CaptainJCross, where I play a mixture of roguelike games, currently Rogue Legacy 2, although that's going to be changing up tomorrow as I move into a new point-and-click adventure game. So come on by tomorrow and see that. And yeah, I stream there about 4 to 5 times a week. So aside from that, on Wednesdays, I'm also here on Nerds with Dice in the afternoons for our interstitial game, which is a Kingdom Hearts based game where I play a terrible, terrible cat nobody that everybody loves because, well, Sirish is fun. And that's me.
Awesome. And I am your keeper, Nerdy Teddy. You can find me on Twitter at Nerdy Teddy. I also have a Twitch channel that I'm going to be starting to stream when I have time on the weekends and stuff. Just kind of playing through some of the games that I have collected and don't make time to play, and I'm going to use the Twitch channel as an excuse to make time to play them. So right now, if I get time to play this weekend, it'll be more Alien Isolation. Otherwise, I am here on Nerds with Dice on Tuesdays. I play Peppermint in the Rifts Ballad of Fates game, and of course I run this game here on Fridays. And trying to think if I'm doing anything else. At the moment, I am not doing anything else. I do have a couple of games and stuff that I've written. I am going to find time to add more to that at some point, but it has not happened yet. But you can head over there and check out the Tax Sisters, which is which is some NPCs you can add to Visigoths versus Malgoth game. They are wannabe vampire punk rock sisters. basically the Tack sister, or not the Tack, the Canker sisters from Ed, Ned, and Eddie crossed with the Hex Girls. They're a lot of fun. You can check them out there on the link. It's also in my Twitter bio. And other than that, June 19th, if you're interested in attempting to win some prizes in a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament while raising money for the Stonewall Community Foundation, you can find the sign-up form either on the Nerds with Dice Twitter, in the Nerds with Dice Discord, or with the Bardic Knock, because we are teaming up with the Bardic Knock to put on this tournament. So that is a thing we are doing, and we will now be rating. Let's see who we got. You know what? I'm in a mood for Vampire the Masquerade, so we're gonna raid Devil's Luck Gaming.
Hey,
Nice.
I haven't heard from them in so long. It'd be nice to poke in and say hi.
And we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Later. Have a good night.
Night.